Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a really weird and really important job.
So what if your full-time job was to break into places, but, legally? Imagine getting paid to infiltrate computer systems and find all their weaknesses. Yeah, we're talking about folks who get paid to think like the bad guys, all so they can stop the real bad guys before they cause any trouble.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off with who these digital knights actually are. Then we'll dive into their challenges. Think of them like video game levels: the precision challenge, the ethical line, and where tech meets ethics. And finally, we'll talk about what really drives them, what their true reward is. Okay, first up, the digital knights. So who are these cyber Sherlock Holmes anyway? I mean, when you hear the word hacker, you probably picture some shadowy figure in a hoodie, right? Well, forget that. We're talking about the complete opposite: white hat guardians on a mission to protect all of our digital stuff. And this right here is the absolute key difference. You've got your ethical hacker, the white hat, who's an authorized pro. Their whole mission is defense and protection. Then you've got the malicious hacker, the black hat. These are the criminals, breaking in without permission to steal, cause chaos, you name it. Really, it all comes down to two things: permission and intent. It's that simple. So let's just nail down the official definition here. An ethical hacker is basically a security pro who gets paid to legally test a company's defenses. The whole point is to find the weak spots before the real attackers can. Like we said, they're the good guys who have to think like the bad guys to keep all of us safe online. All right, that brings us to their first big challenge. Let's call it Level 1, the Precision Challenge. And seriously, this is where logic gets pushed to its absolute breaking point. It's kind of like playing a video game on the hardest difficulty setting, where you only get one life, no respawns. So what's their mission? They have to hunt down the tiniest little vulnerabilities. I'm talking about the ones hiding in forgotten lines of code, weird configurations, or behind firewalls that everyone thought were secure. And this takes a really special kind of mind. You have to be super crafty, almost like a cyber criminal, but at the exact same time, you have to be incredibly precise, like a brain surgeon of code. And when we talk about precision, I mean it is totally unforgiving. In their world, almost correct is just wrong. Period. There's no middle ground. A single typo, one character out of place, could be the very thing that brings a whole system down. There is zero room for error. And this gets right to the heart of their mindset. For an ethical hacker, hearing someone say it should be fine isn't comforting at all. It's a giant red flag. Why? Because it means someone is guessing, and you just can't do that. Confidence without proof? That's how disasters start. Yeah, and it's the same idea here. If you hear, "I'm pretty sure this works," well, that's basically the opening scene of a horror movie for these folks. Computers are, let's just say they're very good at making overconfident people look silly. One little assumption is all it takes to roll out the red carpet for an attacker. Okay, let's move on to Level 2, the ethical line. And man, this is a big one. It's like walking a tightrope. On one side, you've got all this amazing technical skill, and on the other, you've got this huge weight of moral responsibility. And you know what that tightrope is made of? It's this one single document, the letter of authorization. This piece of paper is everything. It's the legal, explicit permission to start testing. And let me be clear, this is not just some bureaucratic formality. Without it, everything they do is illegal. They go from being a white hat to just a plain old black hat hacker. It's that serious. You know, it's funny. The source material has this great, kind of playful take on what this permission slip is really saying. It's like the company is saying, "Yes, please hack us, we insist." But then they add, "P.S., please don't break anything." And then, "P.P.S., our company lawyer is nervous." I mean, that just perfectly sums up the weird mix of trust and total panic in this whole arrangement, doesn't it? And this job, it's so much more than just typing code. It's a real high-pressure mind game. The best way to think about it is like digital archaeology. You're digging through layers and layers of old, forgotten code, trying to figure out what some programmer was thinking 10 years ago. All while the clock is ticking, and you have to be a ghost. Leave no trace. The pressure is just immense. All right, time for the final level. Tech meets ethics. And this might be the most important one of all. You can think of it like a DNA double helix. It's not enough to just be a tech wizard. You also have to have this rock-solid ethical code. The two have to be woven together perfectly. That's what makes a true digital knight. So, what's in their arsenal? What are their weapons? Well, it's probably not what you're picturing. We're talking about their keyboards, their brains, their logic, and maybe the most powerful weapon of all, their moral discipline. That's what they use to hunt down those invisible threats in the system.
And this is really why their job matters so much. They're living proof that it's not enough for us to just build incredible, complex technology. We also have to build the systems of protection and oversight to go with it. They are, in a very real way, the checks and balances for our entire digital lives.
So, after all that, all the pressure, all the brain power, all the walking on eggshells, what's the payoff? What does a win even look like for these guys? It's definitely not about getting famous or causing trouble. Their reward is quiet. It's almost invisible. It's knowing that if everyone went home and nothing bad happened online today, well, they probably did their job right. A victory for them is the disaster that didn't happen, the data breach you never heard about, the system that didn't go down. Success is silence. And that kind of leaves us with one final, pretty big question to think about. We've established that these ethical hackers are the guardians of our digital world. But as that world gets more and more complex, who's going to guard the guardians? It's something to chew on, for sure, as we all live our lives online, protected by these silent knights.